Hey gang, thanks for joining me back here again for this Hurricane Florence painting project. Look at how bad the hurricane was. It washed this boat all the way up. I'm kidding. It's a boat in dry dock. I took this picture at least 6 years ago, maybe more. And I'm doing a painting. Third one I've done, at least the third one I've done, but the last, it's been 6 years or more since I did it. Okay, so I'm all the way down, finally, to the fuzz layer. Woohoo! The fuzz layer. If you can see the title there, I've described it so that you can have an understanding what I mean by that. It is this. Number one, translucent. So translucent paint, of course, is opaque paint applied very thinly. Scumbling. This is scumbling. Translucent, very soft edges, and local color. I started this fuzz layer, it started exactly 2 years ago on July 4th. Funny, I very rarely know exactly when something started, but I just happen to remember I was painting downtown Raleigh on the 4th of July, and I was doing a crowd of people at a festival like I often do, and I fuzzed in the color of their clothing before I went to the last layer. I did the fuzz layer. And it's like, whoa, that worked well. I didn't know if it was going to become a permanent part of my repertoire or if it was just a passing fancy. Well, not only has it become, I think, a permanent part of my repertoire, it has actually increased in importance. Okay, so translucent, very soft edges, and local color. I've just mixed up a warm white. I'm afraid I have a little bit too much paint on that brush after mixing those colors. So let me go to a different brush. I'll use that paint later. Okay, so here's how this looks. And I think I can bring you a little bit closer here. Sorry for the earthquake. There we go. My head's too much in your way. Sorry. There. How about that? There we go. Okay, so anything that I had that needs color correction, I do that now. Anything that I wanted to appear like it's really glowing, which in the landscape means the sun is really hitting it. So yeah, the front of this boat, the top of this boat, this thing here, and parts of this boat, and part of anything that's really, I want it to look like the sun's really hitting it. I'll do glow. I'll also do atmosphere. So I'll do blue sky stuff, atmospheric perspective up here, and some of that same thing down here in the water. Okay, let's get going. So here's what I mean by soft edges. Okay, I'm painting that object right there, and my brush stroke, as far as I can tell, went a good 4 inches in that direction, 2.5 in that direction, and I'm not done yet. So when I say soft edges, I mean soft edges. Okay. It's taken me a while. This step has been evolved, and it's a lot easier to do with 2 hands, because if you try to do it with one, you'll get scared for sure. But the way I'm painting right now, it's like I'm painting faster than I can think. So I don't have time to get in a serious panic. Now this breakwater, sun is really hitting that breakwater. The dark colors that I put down earlier are not dry yet. They're just dry-ish. Get this brush out of the way. Definitely off the front of this boat. There's a little spot of color right there that I really want it to be exploding. I'm going to do this, everything I've done, these spots down here, I'm going to do them all again in just a minute with a lighter, brighter, whiter, not quite as large an area. Does that make sense? But a whiter bit. Oh, there's a good sun hitting that bar right there. Now let me, same color, just more titanium white on it, and come back and do the same objects pretty much again, just not going quite as far out this time. I almost feel like I overdid it on that one. Yeah, I really do feel like kind of feel like I'm ruining the painting. I suppose at some point that's going to happen because my fuzz layer keeps getting looser and looser and looser. And I suppose at some point it's just logical that at some point I'll go, okay, that's too much. Because this might be that day. I don't know. This might be the day that I go too far. Now, just another word about my fuzz layer. Okay, I'm going to stop at that for now. One of the things that the fuzz layer does for me is it helps me create, it's a safeguard, I should say, it's a safeguard against too many hard edges. And most of us, definitely me included, most of us have too many hard edges in our paintings and not enough soft edges. Most of us, left to our own devices, we will have too many hard edges, not enough soft ones. So you could think of this fuzz layer as a anti-hard edges layer, because I am definitely inclined to have too many hard edges. So this is a step dedicated almost exclusively, not quite, because I'm doing other things too. But this is more than anything else. What I'm doing here in this layer is greatly diminishing the number of hard edges in my painting. So while I've got some dirty green color on my brushes, I'm looking for, is there anywhere in here where there's some green foliage? There almost is not. It's a very, the grass here, but yeah, let's add a little bit of, just a little bit of green. I want it to feel like grass down here, even though in the photograph the grass is almost entirely brown. I don't remember if it was autumn or not when I took these pictures. Green anywhere else? Yeah, just a, actually I'm spilling over into the final edit layer with those kind of marks. Okay, now let's go to blue, I think, next, since I've got dirty green on my brushes. Going from green to blue shouldn't be too much of a shocking shift for my brushes. So again, I'm mixing with titanium white, no liquid to speak of, no liquid on the brushes at this point. And my titanium, in case you've missed this little speech, for the last 6-8 years, I always use a fast dry Griffin Alkyd, Winsor Newton Alkyd, fast dry titanium. That's quite important in my painting world. I do not want slow dry at all. I want fast dry. Okay, that's way too green, so let's clean that out of those brushes. Let's try that again. That's the way Mark Carter cleans all his brushes, by the way. He just, he essentially cleans them with paint. You'll have to watch him to see what I mean by that. He doesn't use the Gamsol terpenoid stuff. He feels like that's unhealthy. Go get him, Mark. Okay, now set that. Still kind of an aqua-ish. Are you with me? So what I'm doing here is color correcting the sky. I am by no means am I obliterating all the wonderful textures and layers and so forth that are underneath, that are on there, that are in this part of the painting. But I am pushing it all back. I'm getting too many brush stroke marks. Here's a clean brush, dry brush. Just want to smooth that out a little bit. Now this kind of brushing is usually what I rail against, preach against in all of my classes. Brushy, brushy, brushy. I tell my students I can hear bad painting with my back turned. It sounds like this. That's bad painting. But I'm doing it right now, but it's anytime that you're intentionally pushing down texture, pushing back texture, then you can scumble. Then scumbling is legal. And with the fuzz layer, that is indeed what we're doing. Okay. Then we've got the same sky over here, and on the far side of the nets. These big green things hanging up here are nets. I'm kind of assuming you knew that already. Very distinctive green nets. I wonder if they've consulted the fish to ask them what color nets they like best. I imagine they have. It was unanimous. The fish voted for red nets because they can see them better. So then the fishermen went with green nets. Okay. And now, pretty much the same color. Let me mix up some more of it. Pretty much the same color now. Opaque, dirty blue, way down here in the bottom, where the water is. Soft, soft, soft edges. That's what okay, here's a good example of color correction. I've got several things to do, several of this to do on this painting. Let me show you for a second. Here is the photograph. Do you see the side of the boat here? Now I don't have to copy that, but I find I really like that right there. So I'm going to emulate that somewhat. And I'm hoping that you can see and discern the magic of translucent layers. And of course the boat is reflected strongly here in the water, so same color in the water that's on the side of the boat. Translucent, of course, means you can see through it, but it's fuzzy. So there's, what color is this here? It's a whole combination of layers, layers, and layers, and layers of colors went together to create that. But now it's essentially the perfect color. It's the color I want. on that boat, and it didn't take me long to do it at all. And yet, it's an interesting color, interesting texture because it's layers and layers. It's not boring. I also want some of that same color on this side of the pilot house, or whatever, the cabin, I guess, on this boat. Okay. And I discover, change the color a little bit darker blue. This object right here, I don't know what it is. I think it might be a hatch, a hatch, a lid, a door that opens this way. I didn't realize that when I started the painting, but after looking at it for a while, I think that's what that is. I don't know. That's what I'm going to pretend it is anyway. And now I find I like that color over there. I think I'd like some more of it over here. Just a cool shadow, the cool side of the building. And having done that, I think I want the same or similar on the side of this shed. See, one of the beauties about this translucent fuzz layer is I have so much control. I sort of just keep rubbing. The longer I rub, the more paint comes off the brushes and goes onto the canvas. So I have exquisite control without the dangers usually associated with being a control freak. Now I have a feeling I need some of this same blue on the side of the big boat here. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Well, no, not okay. The side of the cabin, pilot house, or whatever this is called. Okay, now before I leave the fuzz layer, oh, wait, no. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the blue. One more color to do, and it's basically color correction before I take a real hard look at the painting and see if there's any other color correction. That is the red on the bottom of this boat. As it is right now, I feel like it's not quite red enough. Almost. I don't want to go crazy with it. I don't want it anywhere near as red as it is in the photograph. But I do want it slightly redder than it is right now. So let me get that. And again, I would like you to be impressed with how quickly you can make color corrections using this fast, loose, translucent technique. You can do things really quickly. What color do I want? Picking up some Scarlet Lake. No, that was actually orange. Okay, let me counteract that with some Naphthol Crimson, which is a dark, cool red, tending toward cool, tending toward the purplish end of the spectrum a little bit. Okay, so it's quite a fire engine red on my brushes right now. Pretty intense. Yeah. I think that's good enough. I think that'll do. A little around the side of the painting. Now, do I want this red anywhere else? Fuzzy red, yeah. Could keep going, but I think I'm almost done enough. One, I missed a little bit of the fuzz down here. There we go. All right, so now my painting is quite, if not decidedly, fuzzy. Very few soft edges. A whole lot more. Very few hard edges. I'm sorry, I meant to say very few hard edges. A whole lot of soft edges. I don't like my painting at this state, but I will like it, I think, after the final edit. And if I've done all the underpainting rightly, there shouldn't be too much work to do. I just saw a correction that I need to make. So hang on, sorry, hang on. I don't like the color that I ended up with. That's too aqua. So I'm mixing up some opposite of aqua, ultramarine. Again, it's easy to fix because you can fix it fast in this fuzz layer. If you wait and do it in the final edit, it takes a long time. Same thing up here. Okie doke. I think that's it. I'm going to stop here. I'll be back with the last layer